All right, let's check out the California weather forecast. Today ended up being a pretty nice day, kind of mild across the state, much different than the middle of the country, which has some negative 60-degree wind chills. I did see the potential for two different systems this week for California, though. One Tuesday night and then one towards the end of the week. One towards the end of the week, I checked yesterday, that looked to be the bigger of the two, but I guess we'll just see throughout the course of this video. So this is the first one that comes through Tuesday night to Wednesday. And right now we're just getting a broad overview of what we can expect, and then we'll actually dive into some of the details and look at the exact timing and totals. That's the first one. Doesn't look like it's much for the Bay Area. Around a half an inch for the Sacramento Valley, and then, as always, most of the rainfall is up toward the north, but even for the northwestern portions of the state, that's not all that much. Then let's fast forward through this weekend. Oh, it almost looks like there's multiple waves. You see how it comes through, and then again, and then again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then that would be all the way into January 25th. So this is going a bit off into fantasy land in terms of the forecast. But at that point, it looks like we've seen maybe 7 inches of rain in the north coast, 4 inches of rain around Marin County, 2 inches of rain for San Francisco, 3 inches for the Santa Cruz Mountains, widespread 2 to 3 inches for the Central Valley. And yeah, that goes out to January 25th. So right now the models look like they're going to go into an active pattern again. Let's check the snowfall on this. And this would be a good thing. We're still below average in terms of rain and snow. So that's the first one. There's a little strip of some pink there. That'd be 6 to 10 inches. And then there's multiple waves. And at the end of the models, you got some orange. And if you look at the color on the bottom, orange is going to be 2 to 3 feet. So I didn't look at the storm much yesterday. That's coming at the end of the week. But right now, it looks like the models are showing that could actually be something decent out there. So I don't think there's anything to look at on the radar right now. It's not raining. So let's see if there's any warnings across California. Interesting, this green one. Freezing fog advisory. I have never seen that before. Freezing fog. Huh. So an error occurred, and I guess I still won't see it. Try one more time. Let's see. Up there it goes. I have freezing fog advisory in effect from 7 p.m. this evening to 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Visibility 1/4 mile or less in dense freezing fog. Low visibility can make driving conditions hazardous. That's interesting. Oh, that's something new. Never seen that. And then dense fog advisory throughout the entire, or not the entire, but most of the Central Valley, stretching into the East Bay. Let's check out the timing on that. Looks like dense fog advisory 10 p.m. this evening to 11 a.m. Tuesday. And visibility down to 1/4 mile, as low as 200 feet in the dense fog. So those are decent warnings to have this time of the year. I think we would take some fog warnings over flood watches or winter storm warnings or anything too serious out there. Not to say that fog isn't serious. That can obviously lead to some accidents, but let's look at the 5-day outlook here. I like this little graphic. This is the Reno office. It doesn't look like much, and then it shows Thursday and Friday. Oh, so we're looking at risk levels here in terms of the colors on this map. So, well, originally I was thinking green would be rainfall, but green actually means little to no risk levels. That orangish color shows minor risk, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, but again, this is more for the Reno office. Freezing fog, though, I do want to see this, occurs when it is 32 or below and water droplets touch a surface upon which they can freeze. So you got some black ice and slick conditions possible. All right, that's actually pretty interesting. Now let's go check out the Bay Area office. Not really any warnings to talk about there, so let's go straight into the forecast. We'll just look at the summary. Cool conditions through the week. It is going to be a little bit warmer this week than it was last week, though, so that's at least good. With light rain on Tuesday into Wednesday morning, and better rain chances this weekend into the beginning of next week. So that's what we were seeing on the maps that we clicked through at the beginning of this video. Let's check out the Central Valley's forecast. Has some advice on driving in the fog. Slow down. That's not too surprising there. About forecast discussion for Sacramento. Probably going to be pretty similar to what the Bay Area is saying. Dry weather today with widespread rain and high elevation snow Tuesday, lingering into Wednesday. Active weather picks up Friday into this weekend. So one thing I do want to say before we get too excited about this active weather pattern Friday into the weekend is I want to remind you what happened last week, where I believe I did a forecast on Monday and the models were showing 6-7 feet of snow. And then every single day that we checked the models, the totals went down. And the duration of time that we were going to be picking up rain and snow went down until it was 1 to 2 feet of snow in the highest elevations. So we'll look at this storm. That's at the end of the week, but we're not going to get too excited about it yet, especially because the models haven't seemed like they've been too good recently. But with that being said, it's a whole lot better than they were 10 years ago. So we'll take what we can get at this point in time, and they will continue to improve. So let's check out the timing. That's today. Nothing out there. And then a little light rain showing up Tuesday 10 a.m., Tuesday 1 p.m., but that's mostly up in the northwestern portions of the state. Becomes a bit more widespread 4 p.m. Tuesday. So that has an earlier arrival time than what some of the models I was looking at yesterday were showing. Little snow. There's chances for heavy rain at times. This is now getting into 7 p.m. on Tuesday, where you see the yellow, that's the heavy rain. Widespread, though, it's in that light green color, which represents light rain. Kind of matches the cursor I'm using right here. And then similar story for the snow. That's mostly light until we get into the later hours on Tuesday. That's Tuesday at 10 p.m. Then you start to maybe see some heavy snow coming down. And then the rain lingers up in Northern California through Wednesday morning, but it looks like the key times for the Bay Area, Sacramento Valley, are going to be late Tuesday afternoon to early Wednesday morning. So that the timing on that's still kind of holding true from what we were looking at yesterday. And then let's fast forward into Fantasyland. Oh wait, we gotta click a different model. That one hasn't fully loaded yet. It could be interesting to see if the timing changed between the model runs at all. So that's still Tuesday late afternoon, widespread rain. Tuesday evenings, the front looks like it's directly over Bay Area to the Sierra. May have some gusty winds at that point as well. There's some periods of heavy snow. That's early Wednesday morning. And then some of the rain lingers up in NorCal. Not much though. Then we fast forward, and then that next system, guaranteed the timing will change on this. That shows 1 p.m. on Friday. It's going to ruin my pickleball plans. Then, so that's the first system. Then it looks like there's a second system Saturday, then Sunday, and then another system coming in on Monday. And then another system coming in on Tuesday. And then another one on Wednesday. I don't know what the models have been doing recently, but I don't believe that's going to happen. It basically just showed wave after wave after wave of rainfall. I mean, if that does happen, that'll be great. Because you would rather pick up light to moderate rainfall in 5 different storms than heavy rainfall in one big storm. Because if you get all the rain at once, it doesn't have as much time to be able to soak into the soils. It ends up leading to more flooding because it's not being absorbed. Whereas if you can space that out a little bit, it's a lot less dangerous, but you still get all the benefits of getting rain. So right now, these models are exactly what we'd want to see. I don't exactly know how much I trust them. So I'm not going to dive too far into those at this point. We will look at some of the totals expected, but I want to focus on this first system first. So Tuesday, late afternoon into early Wednesday. That looks like the rain that we're looking at for the next few days. Going into, let's just go all the way to Wednesday night and see what it's showing us. Eureka, half an inch, which tells you something that even the northwestern portions of California aren't getting that much. Although we do have that one red bullseye up there that's 2 to 3 inches. San Francisco 0.3, San Jose 0.2. Looks like some of our coastal mountains get into the blue, which is between a half an inch and an inch. Then much of the Central Valley, including Sacramento, around a half an inch as well with that first system. Then let's go through the first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave. And at that point, the models are showing a lot of rainfall. 3.8 for Eureka, but remember it's spaced out, so that'll be a good way to pick up this rainfall. Maybe get us closer towards those averages again. Fort Bragg, 5.5. Santa Rosa, 4. San Francisco, 3.5. San Jose, which is usually kind of rain shadowed, 1.5. Sacramento, around 3. Same with Stockton and Yuba City. Chico, 5.5. Redding, 6.2. So this right now the models are now showing that we're going to get into an active pattern as we get into, it's hard to know based on the exact timing. Let's see. It starts to show up again. That is January 19th. Doesn't really help for us to say Friday. It's so far out in time. So January 19th, and then let's go to the bottom of the model where it's still showing some rain and snow coming in, to January 24th. So right now the models are saying it's basically going to be system after system from the 19th to the 24th. But before we get too excited about that, we do have this first system to think about. Comes through Tuesday night to Wednesday morning. So we looked at the rainfall for that one. Not going to be much. Let's check out the snowfall on it now. So doesn't look like there's much. That's Tuesday afternoon. Then we start to see it come in. And we get into the light pink. So let's match that up with our color bar. That's probably between 6 to 10 inches. And then more widespread is in the blue. So between maybe 3 to 6 inches. So yeah, it's something Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, but doesn't look like it's too serious. And then we have all those waves between the 19th and the 24th. And eventually it's showing parts of Tahoe in the orange, which is more than 2 to 3 feet at that point. So yeah, we'll keep our eye on the long range forecast, but I'm not going to get too excited about it just yet. So let's see. That could be worth looking at. Let's look at the wide view of the rain again to see if any of these are going down into Southern California. I kind of skipped Southern California in my last video just because not much was happening there. There's Tuesday night to Wednesday's system. It does go through the Central Coast into the Big Sur area. Not worth talking about Southern California on that one. And then, oh wait, we gotta click the different model. That one hasn't loaded all the way up yet. You know, we can do one trick. I can just click to the left and it goes to the very end of the forecast run. So this is now all the way through January 25th. That one's showing some action down for LA, Santa Barbara, San Diego, over an inch of rain in some of those places. But considering that's not that much rain, and we're definitely going to see the models change by the time this potential rain would come in, I'm not going to spend any time on Southern California. So there's not really too much to talk about in this video today. I'd say it's a pretty straightforward forecast. Bay Area, Central Valley, expected to see, I don't know, what was it, a quarter of an inch of rain through the Tuesday night and Wednesday system. Let's see. I want to make sure I get those totals right because then I'll record a short form video. Let's go through Wednesday. Yeah, quarter of an inch to half an inch. That's what we're going to call this first storm. And then what were our snow levels on this one? I believe it was 6 to 10 inches in the higher elevations, and then widespread 3 to 6 inches. So I think that's what we're going to go with this system. So keep an eye on that for tomorrow, late afternoon, overnight, into early Wednesday morning. And then I believe on Wednesday, it's already pretty much wrapped up. Let's see the last time that we see some rainfall. On Wednesday, gonna click there. That is Wednesday at 10 a.m. If you look at the Bay Area, it's already done by 7 a.m. Wednesday. There's some rain to the north. Yeah, Wednesday looks pretty much dry. So this is an ideal way to pick up rainfall. It's not that much. It's not going to lead to any widespread hazards. And it's mostly overnight, so it's not going to have as much of an impact on your commute either. So yeah, well, I'll probably do another video on this tomorrow, and we'll maybe look a little closer towards that storm that's coming in at the end of the week, just to see if the models have changed at all. But overall, I'd say that's a pretty decent forecast. Looks like relatively mild weather this week. A little more rain coming in Tuesday late afternoon into Wednesday morning, and then potentially a lot of rain coming in the 19th to the 25th, and snow too. But we'll just have to wait and see there. Now, before I go, I do want to see, so it's not going to be huge in impacts in terms of rain. Could have some impacts in terms of snow. Let's see if we have some impacts in terms of wind. So this is getting into Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening. Doesn't look like it's too windy out there. Up in the mountains, you get some gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour. But around more of our populated areas, not that windy. So it looks like it's a pretty minor system coming in tomorrow and then tomorrow night. So yeah, I don't think I really need to talk much more than that. I think that pretty much sums it up for today, but we will keep an eye on the 19th to the 25th to see what ends up happening there. So hopefully this video was helpful, and thanks for watching.